I've spoken to a lot of beginners that want to venture into the poultry industry. And one of their worries is how to build a proper chicken coop, okay, to make sure they don't face any problem in the future. I've visited a couple of farms that are about to set up to give them a proper orientation on how to build their chicken coop. In fact, any chicken coop built on African soil with the width of more than 25 feet is likely to have ventilation issue, okay, drop in production and eventually collapse. In this first episode of what I term building the proper chicken coop for your business or poultry business is a must watch. In this episode, I am going to touch on the direction of your chicken coop, the size of your chicken coop, the length of your chicken coop, and of course the width of your chicken coop. In the subsequent videos, okay, I will also come your way once again to touch on the height of your chicken coop, how to build the foundation of your chicken coop, the floor, the side walls, and even how to fix the lighting, okay, in your chicken coop. This is Poultry Farms. We are 19K on TikTok. You can also subscribe and like to be part of the family right here on YouTube. Let's dive into it. So one of the things to consider when building your chicken coop is the direction of your chicken coop. Yeah. So always remember that the long axis or the long size of a chicken coop should be in the east-west direction. Why do we do so? We do so to prevent direct sunshine over our birds. Okay. So if there is direct sunshine, okay, within or over our birds, there is going to be a lot of heat stress, okay, within the chicken coop. And of course, in the extreme cases, we are going to lose a lot of birds. Okay, so you would want to make sure that this thing is avoided. Okay, and then of course, you put the long size or the long axis of a chicken coop in the east-west direction. Okay, to prevent any direct sunshine over our birds. Now, the second thing that also we need to take into consideration is the size of a chicken coop. In fact, it is the first thing to even consider before you come to the direction or before you dig anything. Okay, so the size of a chicken coop normally has to do with the number of birds that you are about to take care of or that you're about to house. It is dependent on the number of birds that you want to keep. Yes. So let's say if you are going for 1,000 birds, definitely you are looking around maybe 25 feet by 68 feet, okay? Or you can go for another option, which is 20 feet by 85 feet, okay? So you can use this size, okay, of the chicken coop to house 1,000 birds, okay? So one thing that you cannot do is to go for, let's say, 9 by 21 feet and you want to use it to house 1,000 birds. This is impossible. It will never work. Yes. So the size of your chicken coop is dependent on the number of birds, okay, that you are going to house. And normally, when we talk of layers, we give them around 2 square feet, okay, 2 square feet per chicken. Okay, but of course, some farmers also use 1.5 square feet or 1.6 square feet. Okay, I mean, they are all fine. Okay, from 1.5 to 2 square feet, they are all fine. So what you have to do is that you use the 1.5 or the 1.6 or the 2 square feet. You multiply by the number of birds that you want to keep, and then you get a total, okay, square feet, the total size, floor size or floor space to house the 1,000 birds. That's fair enough. In the case of broilers, we are looking at maybe 1 square feet per chicken is okay. 1 square feet per chicken in the case of broilers. So you multiply by the number of broilers that you want to keep, and then you get the total size of a chicken, okay, coop. Good. Another thing that we need to look at is the length of your chicken coop. Now, for me, the length of your chicken coop is almost the same as the size of a chicken coop. Yes, it is dependent on the number of birds that you want to keep and also the availability of land, okay, the land that you have at your disposal, okay. Now, let's say you want to keep 1,000 birds, okay, and you are going for the 20 feet by the 85 feet, okay. Maybe the nature of the land will not allow you to stretch that, bit, okay, going to the 85. You can adopt the other one, which is the 25 by 68, okay, square feet, sorry. So instead of you going for maybe the 20 by 85 feet, okay, you can choose the 25 by 68 feet, okay. So it depends on the land that you have available, okay, the land that you have at your disposal to work or to construct the chicken coop. Yes, that is the length of your chicken coop. Now, another thing, which is one of the most important things that you also need to take into consideration, is the width of your chicken coop. The width of your chicken coop. Now, in African countries or even tropical countries, okay, if you are building a chicken coop, you need to make sure that the width of the chicken coop does not exceed 25 feet. Yes, if it exceeds 25 feet, something must happen. Okay. Now, what happens when it exceeds 25 feet? The width of the chicken coop exceeds 25 feet. There's going to be heat stress. There's going to be accumulation and concentration of hot air in the middle of the chicken coop. And you know what will happen when such thing happens? Okay, your birds are going to be stressed up. There's going to be heat stress, and in extreme cases, you are going to lose a lot of birds. Okay, so you would want to let the bad gases and the hot air that is concentrated within the chicken coop escape. You need to find a way to let it escape. Okay, that is why it is not advisable to have the width of a chicken coop going beyond 25 feet. But in the cases where the width of a chicken coop has to go beyond 25 feet, something must happen. And what must happen is for you to do what we call the overhang, the ridge ventilation overhang. Okay, so with the ridge vent overhang, which is the space between the normal roofing and the overhang, should be 3.5 centimeters. Okay, should do the job. Where the bad gases and the hot air that will be concentrated within the middle of the chicken coop will escape easily. Yeah, it escapes easily. Yes, so that is the reason why we put the vent or the ridge vent overhang over the roof. Okay, this is for the case where the width of the chicken coop is more than 25 feet. Okay, now there are even cases where the width of the chicken coop goes even beyond 40 feet. And in this case, that's where you see a lot of big companies. They use the exhaust fan, okay, over the rooftop. Yes, exhaust fan over the rooftop for proper ventilation. So this is what I'm telling you. If you are going to build your chicken coop, make sure the width of your chicken coop does not exceed 25 feet. If it exceeds, then you need to do ridge vent overhang. Ridge vent overhang to make sure there is a proper ventilation and all bad gases and hot air escapes easily. So that will be all for now in this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to touch on the height of a chicken coop, okay? The foundation of a chicken coop. Yeah, the depth of the foundation of a chicken coop, okay? The lighting of a chicken coop, how to even build the side walls, and of course, the screening, the floor space, everything. Stay tuned. This is Poultry Farms. Make sure you subscribe and like this. Until we meet again in the next episode, I'm out.